Hi, I'm Mike Handcock, and welcome to this month's tips. This month we're going to talk about recruiting. So that's bringing on a new staff member into your business, or maybe even a new partner for your business. In 1995, I had actually completed over 1,000 interviews because I spent a lot of my time in sales management, and I used to interview a lot of salespeople. I also did a lot of study into the recruiting techniques, and I found one particular technique so much better than any of the others that I tried over the years. So I'm going to share that with you today. And that technique is a 5-point plan. And the 5-point plan is not about actually interviewing anybody. As a matter of fact, it's the very last stage that you do. It's about creating a list of mandatory items that the person must have under 5 points. And those 5 points are their previous experience, their education, their character, as well as their hobbies, and also, most importantly, their profile. So under those 5 particular points, creating a list of mandatory items. Then also creating a list of desirable items. So things you must have and things you would love to have in the candidate that you're looking for. When you recruit that person, when the CVs come in, simply focus on the mandatory items. Tick off all the boxes, and if a person hasn't got something that's on your mandatory list, then discard that CV and only look at the ones that are fully comply with all your mandatory requirements. Once that's done, and you might come down to a short list of 2 or 3 people, then on the other side, start looking at the desirable elements as well. So the person who's probably going to be the most right for you is going to have all the mandatory requirements and most of the desirable requirements that you're looking for. Now, wealth profiling. Wealth profiling is one way certainly in which to actually find the correct person for your business. And these days, in any business that I'm involved in, when we hire somebody new, we put them through their wealth profile so that we know whether they're a creator, star, lord, accumulator, mechanic, or any of the other profiles. And more importantly, these days, when we're looking for a particular person, we're not looking necessarily for a role, but we are looking for a wealth profile that then will fit into that role. So if I'm looking for an accountant, I'm not going to look for an accountant. I'm going to look for maybe a lord or accumulator profile who happens to be an accountant. Now, if you want to know more about profiles, visit my website www.mdh.co.nz and click on the link on the front page which says 8 Pathways to Wealth, and that will go in about profiles. You can also do your profile there, which should cost $100 US. And for me, in my particular businesses, anybody that we recruit now, it's worth spending that money to make sure that their profile is absolutely in sync with what we're doing in our business. There's no way I want to have a star profile necessarily as my accountant, because if I do, then they're likely to run off and do everything that they want to do rather than doing exactly what I want them to do. So think about the 5-point plan. Again, those points are experience, character, education, obviously the profile, and also their hobbies. In other words, what they do outside of working hours. Make sure that you create that list of mandatory requirements and do not interview anybody until they've fulfilled that list. As a matter of fact, interviewing them should just be the final check, the final little part in the process. If you make it the first part, then you're likely to stereotype the person as to your dislikes or your likes. They look like my uncle, so they must be good. They look like my mother-in-law, so they must be bad. So don't interview them till the final part of the process. That's our tips for this month. Have a great month, and I'll see you next time round.